In this video, I want to walk you through the partial draft. As a reminder, the purpose of the reader response is to help you to become a more skeptical and critical reader. We tend to take at face value things that people tell us, and sometimes we get burned doing that. So, what the purpose of this assignment is to give you some tools and strategies for being able to look beyond the surface of something that you're told and to kind of suss out the reality. So, the first part of this video is to walk you through the introduction. Your partial draft will contain two paragraphs, your introduction and your first body paragraph. So the introductions pattern, it's not that different from the introductions that you guys have written for the last two semesters. You'll start with an attention-getting device. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get the reader interested, and you're also trying to kind of pull the reader into your essay. The second thing you'll be doing is you'll be stating the purpose of your essay. And the purpose of your essay does not have that much to do with the content of your article. The purpose of this essay is to deconstruct your article in order to not only understand what the article is saying, but to kind of pull back the curtain and also see how the writer is trying to get you to believe that he's got something useful and worthwhile and believable to say to you. And as your secondary purpose is to figure out how you can use what this writer has said in order to make your own case in the research paper. The third thing you have to do, of course, is to mention the name of the article, the name of the author, and then provide a very, very brief summary of the article. 2 or 3 sentences at most. And then the final thing you'll do is the thing you always do. You end the paragraph with a thesis that tells the reader what you're going to talk about in this essay. And the assignment has already laid out for you what you will be talking about. You will be talking about the article's bias. You'll be talking about whatever strategy of persuasion you've decided the author is using, and you'll be talking about the usefulness of the article to your own research project. So I have written for you a sample introduction and I've color coded it. This first part is going to be the attention getting device that tries to get the reader ready for what's coming. So P.T. Barnum once supposedly said, "There's a sucker born every minute." As the most generous interpretation, he was talking about the tendency of good-hearted people to take things at face value. The belief among many is that what you see is what you get. So the guy with the out-of-work sign sitting on the corner of the Walmart parking lot really is some unfortunate soul down on his luck and not a shyster taking advantage of good-hearted Samaritans. Well, sometimes he is, and sometimes he isn't. The ability to look closely and critically becomes the difference between doing a good deed and being taken for a fool. So all of that was this. Now I'm going to state the purpose of my paper. The ability to see beyond the surface of something becomes even more important when we think of all of the people who are trying to influence us to buy this, believe that, align ourselves with this group, and denigrate and despise that group. The purpose of this essay is to understand how people try to influence us by looking critically at this article, When the Supreme Court Lurches Right by Emily Bazelon. Okay, so there I'm telling you my purpose, and actually I mentioned the name of my article. So this part should be green. Okay, by looking critically at this article. So all of this is purpose. Now I'm going to give you the title of the article, the author, and then a really brief summary. Okay. This article, which was written during the hearings on whether Brett Kavanaugh would join the Supreme Court, explains what has happened in the past when the justices on the Supreme Court held ideologies that were opposite the majority of Americans. See, one little sentence to summarize. You don't need any more because your focus is not on what the article says, but how the author communicates. And then here's my thesis. And you've already seen the thesis whenever you looked at that sample outline. This article is left leaning, should be relying almost equally on logos and pathos, and it will be useful in building the argument that a Supreme Court out of line with American opinion will increase tension in our society. So this is my introduction.